My team and I have been here since April of 2024. So almost 2 years on the ground so far. But even before that, we started training for this event, going through language training and such, obviously, because you can imagine Italy. A lot of our conversations and security support is being coordinated in Italian. Our team back in Washington of the Diplomatic Security Services Major Event Division really started looking at this event probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Would you say a reason for that early lead time is not just to have plenty of time to find all the issues that you might need to uncover and prepare, but also the bonding that can happen between all these disparate groups that you're trying to work together with?
Absolutely. Given the way the U.S. government approaches security for these events, it's not the kind of thing that you can do with just 6 months on the ground. You need to understand the environment you're operating in. You need to build not just these professional relationships, but these friendships in a lot of cases to get the work done. And a lot of the bilateral security support can't happen overnight. These relationships really need to be solidified. And then there's obviously the logistics involved with setting up a new office, setting up a position, which would, obviously require a lot of work as well.
Every Olympics is different, but what makes the Milano Cortina Winter Games unique from a planning and security perspective?
These games in particular, I would say the terrain and sheer distance between the venues. There's 4 different Olympic clusters. There's the cluster in Milan, there's the cluster in Valtellina, encompassing venues in Livigno and Bormio. There's the Val di Fiemme cluster, which is encompassing venues in Predazzo and Tesoro. And then there's the Cortina cluster, which encompasses venues in Cortina, but also north in Anterselva. So it's one thing to drive it, but it's another thing when you have to take under the undertaking of moving thousands of spectators through these mountain villages and clusters to get them all to timed events and to sequence all of that. For our Italian partners, both in the government side and private sector side and from the Olympic Organizing Committee, they've done an amazing job putting together a plan for these logistics and to manage the inherent security and logistical challenges that come with that. For our part, we have to understand it just as well as they do, because you're going to have American citizens, taking trains, buses, shuttles. If there is any issues, we need to make sure that we have the contacts, can pick up the phone, can marshal resources if need be to support in any way that's necessary.
What lessons from Olympic security planning do you think translate really well into the corporate world?
Partnerships, establishing partnerships, identifying your key partners that you need to invest in. No singular source, no singular partner has it all. You're not building just professional relationships, you're building friendships, because at a time in need, you want to pick up the phone and not be, Nick, the Olympic security coordinator calling. You just want to be Nick. Hey, Nick gave me a call. They got something going on over there. I think understanding the threat environment and letting that drive your operational priorities in this context. We're looking back at the challenges observed during previous games, previous multinational sporting events, and identifying the key security takeaways that drive our priorities to plan for, to mitigate, to manage, and respond should those same threats play out. But you have to be looking forward too and seeing what's around the corner. For instance, the emerging threats from drone systems, particularly in Europe, as you've seen a lot of disruptions with drone activity around airports and such. Where's that going, and what does that change in the paradigm mean for how we plan security operations? If I was in the private sector security world, the first thing I would be doing is registering for OSAC to plug into that vast network of security professionals operating abroad. Everybody brings with them different experience professionally before they came to the private sector. But in this international environment, things can change quickly. And it's really, really important to have a network, and OSAC offers that along with some outstanding security resources.